chickens, they can't lay any eggs yet, but that doesn't mean they get to live here rent-free. A couple of weeks ago, I cleaned out their run a little bit here. Gave them a little bit of new bedding and let them start to work through our kitchen scraps. See, the plan, it was simple. If these girls can't lay any eggs yet, then maybe, just maybe, they could help turn our waste into something useful for the garden. So today, we're gonna dig through this coop here, measured everything that they produce, and finding out whether these two freeloaders right here can earn their keep.
Oh, come on, man.
What's going on, ladies? How we doing today? How we doing? Chilling? Doing chicken things? Gonna see how much work you guys have been putting in since we're not laying any eggs yet. Make sure y'all are earning your keep. You heard?
I got you, fam.
Uh-huh. All right, so a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month now, I went ahead and I cleaned out this whole entire run. I didn't do much of the coop. We usually use the deep litter method inside of our coop, so I only clean that out about twice a year. And the chickens aren't even inside a lot. They're usually outside all day, every day. They're only going inside to roost and sleep. Since they're not laying eggs right now, they have no reason to go in and nest. So there's not much we need to do in the coop. I do got a poop deck. I'll show you guys here in a minute that I come out every morning and I scrape the poop off from the poop deck. But other than that, we don't really touch the coop too much. The inside of the run here where the chickens hang out all day, every day, I try to clean that, you know, once every few weeks, once every couple of months, just to maintain freshness within inside of the run here. So about a month ago, I went ahead and I cleaned the entire run. I removed all the old material, right? All the poop, all the old straw, all that stuff, right? And I started over. And the chickens, they've been living in it. They've been scratching around, doing their thing. They've been pooping in it. And we even gave them a good amount of appropriate kitchen scraps to eat, to snack on, and to hopefully maybe turn into compost. And since then, I've intentionally been leaving everything alone, right? I haven't been doing a lot of maintenance since the last time I cleaned it. Because I want to try and answer 3 questions. How much material and manure can 2 young chickens actually produce within a couple of weeks? Have they started mixing or even breaking down any of the stuff that we put in here? Is the stuff that we're going to find in here today, is that going to be finished compost, or is it only the beginning of the process? Anything you ladies want to say?
I don't want to do this no more.
Let's go ahead and start finding out if these girls are actually earning their keep around here. So like literally we're just going to start scratching through. Like look, you can see here is all old kitchen scraps. This was probably, all this right here was probably like 2 days ago. This was about 2 days ago. So this is stuff that they haven't, they ate, you know, they ate what they ate. You know, they had their little snack. But obviously, they're not going to eat all of it. And this is what it's looking like after 2 days already. I would say that this is already starting to break down. The food, the scraps in here, look like they're already starting to break down. Now, obviously, in just, you know, a couple of days, they're not going to break down fully, you know. But, I mean, just look in here. We got a lot of this old bedding is already starting to, you know, really dry and brown. So it looks like the bedding in here has been in here for a while. Like I said, probably at least a month. You know, we got poop laying all around here. I mean, look, we got poop here, all that, you know, more kitchen scraps here. So, I mean, just in 2 days, it looks like stuff is already starting to break down. And then we'll go in here into the inside of the coop here, and I'll show you guys what I was talking about. So, like the inside, it doesn't need much. You see, this is all still pretty fresh bedding in here that I probably added some bedding in here probably about a month ago now. But here's our poop deck. They roost up here and all their poop falls down on here as they're sleeping at night. And every morning I'll come out. I didn't clean it yet this morning because I wanted to show you guys. But every morning I come out, I'll clean this off. It goes straight into the compost. As far as the inside of the coop, there's not much we need to do. Like I said, they're not nesting. So they're barely in here and only to sleep. They're only in here to sleep. As of right now, I got to come out and I turn up the inside of the coop myself right after I clean off their poop deck. The outside, they take care of. I don't really need to touch the outside other than cleaning things up, you know, every few weeks, every couple of months. We just saw what the inside of the run looked like. We noticed that the food scraps we just gave them, like even a couple of days ago, is already looking like it's starting to break down. Now, I want to be clear here and say that you're not going to take this stuff from the run and throw it straight onto your garden. It's not ready yet. Chickens aren't going to compost themselves. They can help you. They're great helpers, by mixing and turning and burning and all that stuff, and things start to break down when it's inside the coop, but it still needs to go through the full process. It needs to get hot, and it's not gonna get hot unless it's in an actual compost bin like we have over here. So that's where we will take the ingredients that these chickens make for us, throw it into the compost, keep that churning and burning, doing this thing, and then eventually, after a few months, you have your own soil. Now, our goal right now is we're gonna clean this out, we're gonna clean this up a little bit, and we're gonna see how many buckets. I got a 5-gallon bucket, that's what I use to clean this out. How many buckets are we gonna fill right now in just 1 month of us not doing anything with the chicken run? So there's 1 bucket, 1 full bucket so far. Let's go ahead and throw that in the compost real quick. And like I said, I think I'm gonna be correct in about 1.5, close to 2 buckets. Close to 2 buckets. Let's say about 1 3/4 buckets. 5-gallon buckets, 1 3/4 full. That's just in 1 month. In 1 month, we got close to, let's round it up and say 2 buckets. In 1 month, we got 2 buckets worth of compost material, compost ingredients. Not full compost. Remember this, you're not throwing this straight onto your garden from here. It's way too hot, way too high in nitrogen, you'll burn your plants. But it's ready to go into our compost bin and continue the process. So I will say, all in all, that these 2 girls, I would say these ladies are earning their keep for the most part. They're not laying eggs, you know, they're not paying me any rent right now, but they are helping me with composting and creating soil for the garden. So I think that balances itself out. Financially, is it worth having young chickens like this? Maybe not. I'm probably spending more money than they're actually giving me. And at the end of the day, this lifestyle, like you're gonna spend a little money. It's not, you know, especially when you're starting out, you're not gonna see a return. The return for me is peace of mind, right? This is like therapy for me, coming out here, hanging out with the chickens, cleaning up the coop, and knowing that my food is coming from my backyard, not from the store where they put chemicals and pesticides and all the whole bunch of crap inside of that stuff just to make them grow bigger or last longer on the shelf. So all in all, I would say that these ladies are definitely earning their keep for me, and they have helped me out quite a bit. Today's experiment wasn't about trying to produce enough fertilizer for our garden. It was more about learning how the cycle works while our system is still pretty small. Food scraps, they feed the chickens. Nice tasty treat, right? The chickens then help us to create compost material. That compost then eventually feeds our garden. And then the garden produces more food and feeds us. That's the whole loop, my friend. It might be tiny right now. The size, it can change later. But the system and the skills learned, that's what matters right now. To answer one of our questions, can 2 young chickens make finished compost material in just a couple of weeks? No, they can't make finished compost material. But they can sure help start up that process a lot faster. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure. Peace.